Tell me when you're ready.
I'm ready.
2011, I spent a year in the hospital, give or take. And afterwards, Kelly, my wife, and I were talking about what can we do to get me back on my feet. And we met this guy named Rob Powell through friends. And he looked at me and I said, I don't want to do this crazy running through mud and low crawling and all this crazy stuff. And he said, yeah, it's not really like that. Come and give us a try. And I was still doing some chemo at the time. And he came and let me do some workouts. And then back then I had to wear a heart monitor. So one of the trainers, John, was running around watching my heart rate and telling me, stop. And I just kind of fell in love with it. It was a team experience. It was a community. It was a family. It was trainers who cared about you. Despite my weaknesses and my rehabilitation and having to get back in shape. And they stuck with me and I stuck with them. My first impression was it was an intense workout, a lot of dedicated people, it was small groups. People were crowding into this teeny tiny hall that we had over by this gas station on the other side of the town. And then you started coming every day and the people were there and they expected you to be there and you were sore every day and you're talking to people or like, is it normal to be this sore? I've never slept this well in my life because I'm so exhausted every night and I still got to go to work. And the trainers would be just kind of smile and be like, yeah. And how is it today? Yeah, it's the same. It's just a bigger hall. It's more community. You either love it or you don't. And I think the people, I don't think I've met anybody who stick with it longer than 30 days and leave. I mean, you really get into it. You get into the workouts, you get into the community. You find that you share with people. There's all kinds. There's people, we went in the first time and I was, I had just come from doctor's appointments and I'm doing like a bar. And I'm just doing, get in the chair, sit in the chair and stand up. Do that 10 times. Okay, you're done, go home. And nobody judged me. They just did it. And other guys are squatting 100 kilo and I'm sitting in a chair and standing up. And that's the same way it is today. Nobody is judging you. They all want you to do well. And we all show it in different ways, but everybody's cheering for each other because we know at the end of the day, it's not an easy workout, but you're doing it for you and you're doing it for your family and you're doing it for your health. And that's so my first impression was, wow, what a bunch of crazy people in a small gym. My impression today is, wow, what a bunch of crazy people in a great big gym. So it's really an awesome place. So, I've been doing this now. This is my 8th year and I'm not a CrossFitter. I'm not an athlete. I just love it. I love the workouts. And that's great. There's a place for that. And so I remember doing all these workouts, and then one day they said, okay, Saturday, it's Memorial Day or whatever, because it's honoring Memorial Day, it's this American USA holiday, and we're going to do this special workout, it's called Murph. And I'm like, okay, Murph. And everybody came in and started, oh God, Murph. And so we all showed up, and I did it. And it was, should I tell them what it is? I'll tell them. It was run a mile, do 100 pull-ups, do 200 push-ups, and do 300 squats, and then run a mile. And it took me like 2 hours. I literally took like 2 hours to do all that, but I did it. And that was huge. That was such a big thing because I was like, crap, I did it. It doesn't matter how long it took, I did it. And I had fun, and I was proud of it, and it was a good moment. And then the next year I did it, and it took me an hour and 15 minutes, and I don't think I've gone much faster than that. Maybe I'm an hour and 5 minutes or something. But the point is, it's not, that you're trying to set records. It's that you did it. And everybody moves at their own pace. And there's all kinds of little goals. But for me, that was one of my bright spots.
The double unders.
And double unders. I mean, that's pretty cool. I mean, when you can do double unders. That's a really neat thing. That's another bright spot. I mean, there's so many little tiny nuggets. There's so many little tiny nuggets that you can take away from the day. I mean, every day is not perfect. Some days you come into the workout and you're like, oh God, but then you come the next day and it's like, wow, it's brilliant. So it's just stick with it and you find bright spots throughout the day and you learn to keep moving forward. For me, what I'm working on now, I have, since I met CrossFit Ansbach, and since my illness, and I have a healing path, and it incorporates 3 key pieces. One of them is my emotional health, so I do things like meditation, and I just try to keep myself even keeled. It's a practice. I have to work hard at it. The other is my dietary decisions. I really am trying to be conscious of how I eat, what I eat, and I've learned that some things, through doctors' help, I can't eat. I don't process them, and my body does not process them, so I stay away from those things. And exercise, and those are the 3 key things that I have to do. So right now, I'm working on getting my weight to a place that I really want to be at, so that I can actually improve in some of my physical endeavors here at the box.
Okay.
Back in time, I would have started learning CrossFit when I was probably about 15. Okay, really, I really would, 14, 15. Because when I was a freshman in high school learning to play football, the weightlifting training was hit the bench and bench press. And so you get a bunch of 15-year-olds, and all we were trying to do is impress each other. There was nothing healthy about that, and I threw my shoulder out as a high school quarterback, and so I still have that pain today. So if I went back, I would say learn how to do appropriate lifts, learn Olympic lifts, learn how to do things like burpees, learn how to do core strength, pull-ups, push-ups, learn these things, air squats, learn how to do them right. And if you don't know how to do them right, ask somebody and learn. The second thing I would do is question everything you know. Question it all. Question what the doctor tells you. Question what people tell you is healthy to eat. Question, because the medicine, the knowledge, the science, everything that's coming out today is so fascinating. And everything I learned as a child about how I'm supposed to eat, how I'm supposed to exercise, how I'm supposed to be a man, it's not always right. And it's important that you be smart enough to ask the right questions, and also, most importantly, be compassionate to your fellow man. That's what I think I would tell old Philip.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure.